about or do want to talk about?
No, I really don't give a fuck.
All right, cool.
All right, what's up? What's up, Jelly?
What's up, Bubba?
Not much, man. I'm really glad to have you on, and we are officially live.
Yeah, my shit. I'm in, baby. Sorry it took me a second this morning. I forgot y'all were an hour ahead.
Honestly, man, I forgot to. But before we start, let's go ahead and get the actual intro going.
Mm-hmm.
Radio check.
Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. You're now tuned in.
Let's go
to CONVO-19.
Turn it up
with Keith Austin and Georgie Sippin' 40.
All right, what up? What up? How's it going, man? How's it going?
Does that help? Is it wider now that I do it like that on my side?
Yes, it does look good.
Way better.
Cool.
All right, man. This is CONVO-19. My name is Keith Austin. This is Georgie Sippin' 40. And today we have the legend himself, Jelly Roll. How's it going, man?
Dude, I'm good.
I'm sorry, did you say something? We didn't hear you.
I'm sorry. I'm washing off last night's sins.
Gotcha. All right, man. To a lot of people that don't know, we're going to get it out of the way. You recently just got your YouTube plaque. 1 million subscribers. How does that feel?
Dude, surreal. If we're going to be honest with each other, let me wipe this off. Sorry. Right. It honestly just feels flat fucking surreal, man.
Oh, man, I bet it does. Now, how long have you actually been active on YouTube?
Dude, hold on 1 second, man. Let me see if I can get this thing. Be nice.
Oh, you're fine. I'm going to go ahead and share it around.
Yeah.
So people can actually see it. So if you see me on the phone right now, I'm sharing everything. So when you feel ready to talk, just let me know.
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'm sorry. Just fucking, I don't do a lot of these, to be honest.
Oh, yeah?
And I might have picked the room with the worst lighting to do a thing like this.
Hey, man, it happens.
Hell, Bunny's got the whole studio, don't she?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
What's up with I listen to Bunny's podcast. I haven't seen her upload in a few days or a few weeks. What's going on with that?
Oh man, she hated doing the digital thing that we're doing now.
Oh yeah.
To be honest, like she felt like, which y'all got a cool thing going where it's like I feel like I'm hearing y'all in real time.
Oh yeah, for real.
With her shit, it was like such a lag and delay.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to do more of them in person.
Yeah.
So went out to LA and Vegas and shot like 15 of them. So they're finna come back out.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say I don't exactly know what Bunny uses, but like we use this program called StreamYard. Super easy to use and super user friendly.
Yeah, they were using Skype and StreamYard's way doper, man. I'm seeing
it. So, when you talk to her, you need to be like, hey, try out this. And if you have any questions, you feel free to ask me. We've been using this thing for a solid good minute now. So.
Yeah, man. No, it's awesome. She's coming back and this shit's bigger, crazier, wilder guest. So,
oh, yeah.
Cool, man. I'm really proud of it.
Can you give us a lineup?
A spoiler, maybe?
You know what, dude? I wish I remembered, like, it's sad because I'm just not in that side of the game, so I don't know the people.
Yeah.
But I know it's a bunch of fucking, sex industry porn star women with like millions of followers.
Yeah.
I remember just like one of their names, but I just fucking can't. But they've really cool things going. So it's like a lot of those girls coming on the show. I know Charlie Classic's back on this season. That's my homie. So I know the homies that I know, but that's about it. But it's a lot of like girls from Vegas and the West Coast.
That's what's up. Now, so before we go, too much further, a lot of people that are listening right now know who you are. But can you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll get into like what you're working on right now?
Yeah, man. So my name is Jason Jelly Roll D4, and I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. Actually, Antioch, which is a kind of outskirts of Nashville on the south side, going towards y'all's area. Actually, coming down 24 East.
Yeah.
You leave Nashville and take 24 East towards where y'all are. You'll be Antioch shortly there after Nashville. I've been doing music my whole life. I've been really chasing it pretty aggressively the last 15, 16 years. Talking about the YouTube channel, I think I started it 10 years ago.
Okay.
Do you remember what your first video was?
You know what? I think it was the 10-minute freestyle technically, but I don't think it went on my channel.
Yeah.
But 10-minute freestyle was the beginning of like my first few videos didn't go on my channel.
Yeah, I want to talk about that too, but you can go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Yeah, but it's like, so, but I do remember the 10-minute freestyle was the first time somebody uploaded something for me on YouTube. And it was a really weird time on YouTube back then, because back then, no shit, I'm not making this up, going viral on YouTube was more than 30,000 views in a week.
Yeah.
That's how like infancy stages YouTube was.
Mm-hmm.
So, but back by that merit, the 10-minute freestyle went quote unquote viral. So, because that's back when you could only watch YouTube from a laptop.
Yeah.
Like you had to go home and type in youtube.com, and you know what I'm saying? You know, it wasn't like where people are like listening to songs on their phone now in their cup holder in their car.
Yeah. How fast after that video was uploaded do you remember it going viral?
And my dude called me that night. It was like, yo, man, this thing got like 20,000 views in a day. I was like, what? He was like,
what do you think it was that actually got that video to go viral?
I just think it was like, we were just so, I'm not going to act like it was anything special we did. I'm not. Do I think it was a really dope freestyle? For sure. Do I think it had a real authentic feel to it? Like the way it was a bunch of dudes in a room and there's a dude fucking ooting coke in the back in the bathroom that you can see. Like, so it just came off real authentic. But I think it was also just YouTube didn't really have, like, that wasn't on YouTube at the time.
Yep.
So it was,
I can imagine that's a surreal feeling. Like you're just chilling with your boys and you're doing a freestyle. Somebody happens to be recording it. They upload it to YouTube, and later you're like, oh my God, this shit is blowing up.
yeah, and people are confused as to why it was cut. Like they just cut the best parts of it. Like I freestyled for 20 or 30 minutes and they picked 10.
Wow, okay, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
It was a cipher.
Okay.
So it's like everybody around me was rapping too. So I'd rap. You feel me?
Yeah.
Next guy would rap. And then the dude's plan was to cut a freestyle from all of us, just everything we did collectively, separately though.
Yeah.
So everybody in the room would have their own clip. And he started with my clip because of the drywall line. So he was like, drywall line's too crazy. We got to put this out right now. My buddy Chad Arms, man, I love him to death, Chatty Bobby. I'm so blessed that he did that. And then he started following me and Worm around and doing the day in the life of Jelly and Worm on YouTube.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was like the beginning of the turning points for us.
All right, who was all in the cipher with you? If you said it was actually a cipher and they were supposed to divide it up, who all was it?
So my uncle T-Sean was there. Man, I'd like to believe James was there. Some other dude that I prefer not to speak about was there.
Yep.
Man, fuck, dude, I'm so hungover and just woke up. Like, fuck, this is like I wish I had my other phone. I'd look at it because I'd remember instantly. But Chad Arms was videoing it.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't remember who all was in the room that day, man. We were all so young and fucking stoned and drunk and fucking, you know, it's like back, you know, back when you're like, you remember when you were young enough that it was okay to like wake up and do drugs? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mean weed. I mean like drugs. Like wake up, like we're going to party, like drinking fucking whiskey before you ate breakfast kind of shit. Like we were in that stage of life. So
yeah.
How old were you in that era?
I'm thinking it was, I think it was 12 years ago, 11, 12 years ago. So I was, you know, I don't want to tell my age, but I was in my late teens, early 20s.
I mean, that's fair. We ain't going to ask all, you know, all that personal stuff.
Yeah, don't age me now, okay? Google has one age and I have one age and I stick with Google's.
You know, Lil Wayne lied about his age for years. Like people thought he was like 22 when he was like 29. Like,
oh, yeah.
and he would legit carry that. But
Yeah.
one thing I love asking people when we get them on is like growing up, we're from the country. Like at what point does a young Jelly Roll say, I'm gonna pursue hip hop?
So it's like I didn't think I grew up, I was young enough but old enough that I grew up influenced by the early part of hip hop. So it's like, dude, I got Rex and Effects Rump Shaker cassette tape in my stocking when I was like fucking 7.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that was like a Christmas gift.
You know, you need to be careful, Jelly, because you're starting to age yourself a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But it was like, you know, my brother and them would ride around and listen to like, you know, like rap music, like all the time. Like it was like they were the first generation of those guys. So it's like, you know, heavily influenced by like 5, 6 years old hearing it. So I was always like, I can do that. I love singing too. My mama listened to Motown music and old outlaw country music. My daddy listened to like James Taylor and shit. So I always had a real eclectic group of music in my ears.
Yep.
At the time, I was like, I didn't think I could sing. You know what I mean? So I was like, but I know I can rap. So it's like I just started rapping.
And it's crazy now because I feel like a majority of the stuff that we hear from you now and get shared around is the stuff of you mainly singing. Like, for instance, I know Save Me was the one that came out recently and is getting a lot of love.
Lots of love.
Oh, dude, man. Anybody who's watching this that's listened to Save Me, thank you. Y'all have sincerely, it's like it has been in the viral top 50 on Spotify for 6 weeks straight.
Yeah, we were actually hanging out yesterday and I pointed that out to him. We just thought that was so like unreal because where we're from, we've known Jelly Roll for a long time just because we actually have mutual friends. And I knew
no, Steven and my guys, I've watched every interview y'all done. It started with Steven. I just went down the rabbit hole of y'all one day.
well, we actually had one more before Steve, and it was Nash, but yeah.
No, well, I came in on Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Tracked and seen the Nash when it went down the line. But you know, while you're talking about this, I want to touch on something y'all said. And I want to clarify a comment. Someone said he don't sound nothing like the Jelly Roll of 08. Was that you, Georgie, that said that, or was that you, Keith?
I'm pretty sure that was Georgia. I had to leave out. Yeah.
So, just respectfully, you realize that was 12 calendar years ago, right?
Yeah.
Have you changed in the last 12 years of your life?
I would say yeah.
Like your mentality about life, would you say it's progressed in 12 years?
Yeah.
Would you say you've been through a whole different set of problems and circumstances in the last 12 years?
Yeah.
Have you had a kid in the last 12 years?
2.
Have you got married in the last 12 years?
No.
Did having kids change your thinking and perspective in the last 12 years?
Yes.
Okay. What do you expect me to do, Bubba? You know what I'm saying? You expect me to be 2008 Jelly the rest of my life?
But the way I was getting at it was like,
I tell you right now, talking to you, Bubba, that in 2032, you're going to talk to a different Jelly Roll.
yeah.
Help that, though. That's the evolution of change, right? That's the goal. Is I think we all change. Having a daughter changed the things I've rapped about. Having a daughter, one, it changed the things I did.
Yeah.
I drug dealer no more. And when I didn't want to be a drug dealer no more, I didn't want to glorify it through music anymore.
Mhm.
When I came out of jail, which happened 10 years ago, 12 years ago now, actually, my daughter's 12. So when you brought up 08, it was like, it hit me in my gut.
Yo, you there?
You kind of cutting out a little bit.
I should be back now.
Okay.
Yeah. My daughter.
We're having some technical difficulties.
We back?
Yeah, you cut
yeah.
out for like a 15 seconds, 20 seconds.
Yeah, fucking. I should have used another phone, really.
Um,
But it's like, my daughter was born in 08.
Yeah.
But when you brought that year in particular up, it made me think about every trial and tribulation that's happened in my life in those years, right?
Mhm.
2008, I caught a crack case in February and didn't come home until 2009, right? I didn't meet my daughter until 2010. So it's like everything has changed. It's all been a progression. I don't sell drugs no more. I don't want to talk about selling drugs. The way I feel about talking about selling drugs feels different now that I have a daughter whose mother suffered from addiction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I said in a song recently, I thought it was cool to sell drugs when I was trapping until it affected my family because my daughter's mom is an addict, you know? Yeah. It's like there's just a paradigm shift that happened. And obviously it happened here, so it would come out here, right?
Yeah.
And that's what happened with the music. And 12 years from now, dude, I might be fucking playing the piano and singing Billy Joel kind of songs. I don't know. I hope so. I hope I evolve into that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I hope that's what happens, you know. But 12 years of life will change what you sing about, Bubba.
Yeah, the way, and I even said it. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I had a feeling you were going to bring it up. Before I said that, I was like, I don't want to disrespect Jelly Roll by saying this, and I really did say that. But the way I was coming at it was like, we're from the if my PO ask, I hang drywall.
Yes,
That's the Jelly Roll I know.
If anything, probably a little before that, because
Yeah.
the very first song I think I remember, like I can actually remember listening to, was probably Cocaine Money.
yeah.
So
Yeah. So, and then, like you said, over time, like, yeah, my mindset has changed. We make music too. The way I was coming at it about you was like the shit we hear now, like Save Me, the more dark,
let's say mature. Let's say mature music.
It's
yeah, it has a dark feel.
like dark. It's dark. It's dark music.
Yeah, like I could see that being like, I know people are clinging to this more, so why wouldn't I take this approach and let people accept this more? Because people are obviously going to accept Jelly Roll making that kind of music versus making drug music.
Right. Well, we didn't have a problem selling. It was just the experiences in life changed how I felt about people and things.
Yeah.
It would come out in the music. You know, it's you go through more pain. You know, you watch your daughter cry and cry and cry because her mother's disappeared because of drugs. You know, it makes it hard to go in the studio and write a party record.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you bury friends that you love dearly because of overdoses. It makes it hard to go in the studio and make a party record. You know, you watch your mother battle an addiction. It makes it hard to go in the studio and write a happy record. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I got a song on my next album that's a love song, right? And even to this day, all my love songs are dark, like Suicide, Wheels Fall Off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got one that's not dark. It's a curveball. I'm finna hit y'all with a whole nother curveball, right?
Okay.
But I'm a little older and I'm really in love. Like, I love my wife. I love what we built the last 5 years of being married. Our anniversary's coming up this week. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, now it was easy to go in there and write a lighthearted song about love. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, that's my spirit. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't even following. And Steve Matherly said it, not you as much, said that, you know, I think Jelly just followed what was working for him. And it was a thing that was like, dude, music was always, let's talk about this for a second. I dropped a series of music called Therapeutic Musics.
Yep. Very famous Jelly Roll line of music.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. And it's like, you know, the birth of therapeutic music was this, right? I was putting out mixtapes back in the mixtape days, like all the time.
Yep.
And we would go in to record a mixtape, and I'm not making this up. Steve Matherly will attest. For every like one kind of hype fucking Cocaine Money song or Welcome to the Trap House song, I would record like 4 of the fucking saddest songs ever. Right. So we would get to a point where we'd be like, dude, we can't fill this album up with sad songs. So we pick 6 or 7 hype songs and then pick like 2, like, you know, down the middle kind of the therapeutic shit. So we got to a place one day where we had like 15, 16 songs that were just jamming, but they were all fucking somber. Right. Yeah. So I was like, why don't we call it therapeutic music and put it out? That was the birth of therapeutic music. You know, when I look back at it, to be honest, I shouldn't have spent so much time trying to push a square through a circle.
Yeah.
I should have put them motherfuckers out to begin with. You know what I'm saying? I should have just put them on each album and just followed my spirit. But I didn't know, man. You know, it's like that's when I was, to be honest, it's been a shift. That I was doing what I thought people wanted to hear then.
Yeah.
Studio, like canning these really good songs. I was canning songs like Go Hard or Go Home, these streets of my home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was canning those songs to fucking, you know, Welcome to the Trap House. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was like, oh, this is what people want from me. I got this drug dealing history and I've been in and out of jail a lot. This is what they want. So I need to give them this.
Yeah.
Then it's like you realize later that the shit you were hiding is what people really wanted. So it's kind of cool now. If I cut a whole album now and I don't have one up-tempo song, I'm like, fuck, cool, whatever, you know. Now it's just cutting what I feel. Now, obviously, a sound develops around it, right? So now there is a Jelly Roll sound, but I think y'all are artists. You get this. What artist doesn't want to develop a sound?
For some artists, it's super hard, and some people have a hard time separating what's actually their sound to others they listen to, because a lot of people have a tendency to like make what they hear. So
yeah, and
you have a sound, that's actually a compliment, because not a lot of people have a sound.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like I think all artists want one. And listen, I'm not being aggressive towards y'all, I wanted to come on this show to have these conversations with somebody who actually knew and cared enough to have them.
Yeah.
But most people I talk to don't know the full story. And it's hard. You just got to explain it to them like in real layman's terms. Like, yeah, I started in the mixtape era, put out a whole bunch of mixtapes, developed something. And they're immediately like, well, talk to us about, whatever album was the turning point they thought. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool to sit down. I thank y'all for that. To be able to sit down with two dudes, it's like, yo, man, we fucking listened to like your first mixtape ever fucking 15 years ago. And we want to talk about what happened in those 15 years. You know what I mean? That means a lot to me.
That is actually super crazy because literally right before we actually sat down and was going to set this up, we were talking about what do we want to ask Jelly? And one of the things we both said was there are certain things in interviews that we don't hear. I don't exactly hear about where Jelly started, how he started. And also from where we're from, we also hear about how Chattanooga and Jelly Roll at one point in time was a big thing together, but we don't know the full story of it.
Not even at one point in time. We sold the Signal out last year.
I meant more like in the early days of like
yeah, but like just shows that like Chattanooga is still home to me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, early days, dude. Me and Steve, there's a lot of stuff that like. So here's the
two stories, one struggle.
One more thing I want to talk about. We can just get rid of all the stuff that I just want to clear air about, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Somebody had mentioned in one of the interviews that we had took the country rap approach. And I think it was Steve that said that. And I love Steve, by the way. I'm doing a couple songs for Steve and White right now. That's my guy. Mm-hmm. And that couldn't be more inaccurate, right? Besides Cowboys on Waylon and Willie, right? Which was admittedly me trying to combine what Struggle does with what I do and meet in the middle, right? The whole Waylon and Willie concept. But right now, if you go to like any country rapper Spotify, right? And you look up their similar twos, right? It shows a bunch of other country rappers, Up Church will show The Lax, Adam Calhoun,
Struggle, honestly.
Struggle, yeah.
Yellow, maybe.
Boys. No, Yellow's not on there.
Really? Okay.
I swear to God. I looked at this yesterday to make sure I was ready to have this conversation.
Okay.
And then you go look at mine, and it's Mercules, Ritz, Tech 9, Tom McDonald. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's like when I looked at it, I was blown away that there wasn't a quote unquote country rapper on my whole list. It's like I think that I blend in. Listen, you're from Chattanooga, Bubba. Y'all are from outside of Chattanooga, right? Y'all from Dunlap, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He lives in Chattanooga now.
Yeah, so you're from Dunlap. I'm from Nashville. Let's just be honest, y'all. If we walk into any bar in New York City, Maine, California, Montana, Nevada, Arizona, or New Mexico, they're country as fuck.
Yep.
Just as soon as you walk in and go, hey, man, I'll take a Bud Light, right? So it's like I can't help, like you can't help that the tone of how I talk and rap or sing is country. Mm-hmm. But the content, dude, like to say that I'm doing country rap, it doesn't bother me. I love these dudes. They're all great dudes. But if you honestly think you could classify what Jelly Roll does in the same category of what Big Smo does, you're fucking smoking meth. Big Smo is frog gigging, dog. He literally talks about gigging frogs in his songs.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
I talk about people dying of heroin addiction and overcoming obstacles and fucking fighting the system, right?
Yeah.
And I love Big Smo. Get some meat mud. It's literally the best shit to put on a sandwich ever. You know what I mean? I love Smo. This is my dude. But to say what Jelly Roll does is like what Colt Ford does, I'm offended. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm flat fucking offended. Like, yeah, I'm country, dude. Fuck, I could sing, fucking Amazing Grace and it would be have a twang to it. You know what I mean? I grew up in Nashville just like y'all. It's like fucking, and hell, I sound country. No disrespect, y'all motherfuckers country. I've been to Dunlap.
Oh, definitely.
Until like 5 years ago, man, that place, what y'all like? I feel like it's grown a lot with like a new strip mall and some other shit, right? But
you got a Walmart now.
Yeah, you got a Walmart. So it's like shit, but it's just by tonality, it gets gathered in, Mm. But Yeah, that's my thought. I'm not mad at y'all or Steve for saying it. I just wanted to clear, like, dude, I never. In fact, I am very intentional about making sure that the chord progressions in my guitar-driven music is not country. Now, same asshole had a country leg, right? But I've never heard a country rapper have a whole song talking about trying to let his past go and some days being the same asshole, you know?
Yeah.
What genre music would you say you make? Because you really do make diverse music. One song can sound hip hop, one song can sound dark, maybe a little soft rockish. Like, what genre would you say you would combine that all into and call Jelly Roll?
See, this is what I want to talk about, man, because this is something I want Steve to hear and I want y'all to hear because I know y'all fuck with music. And this is what I'm trying to preach, right? I don't want any of us to think about genres no more, right? I want people to make. I think we're getting to an era in life where artists can do whatever they. This is like what we always dreamed about when we were kids, y'all. We can do whatever we want to do, and as long as it's authentic, it'll be received that way.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like as long as it has an honest feel, it'll be received like it. You know, when we were kids, we're all in somewhat of the same age bracket. You know, if you wore a Pantera shirt to school or a Marilyn Manson shirt, right? There's not a chance in hell you could come back that same week wearing a Tupac shirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're identified by the kind of music you listen to. And if you listen to any other music than the music you chose to be identified by, you did that privately.
Yeah.
Right? My daughter's 12. I'm listening to her clean her room yesterday. Shit you not. Yesterday, before I went to the studio, I take her to the studio with me. I'm like, go clean your room. She turns on her little playlist, right? I'm not making this up because she grew up my daughter. This playlist couldn't be more eclectic. It went from Ariana Grande to fucking Jim Croce. Bullshitting. An Elvis Presley song came on it. 2 Cardi B songs, thankfully not WAP. Right? 2 Cardi B songs. And to like a fucking the Prince song. Me and her love that. Maybe MG Doves Cry shit, right?
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
This is her little playlist that she took the time to make for her, right? It was fucking all over the place. I think there was a Gwen Stefani song on there. You know what I mean? Like, I think there was a Luke Combs song. Like, It was everywhere. It was like, and I was like, even when I look in her closet, she's got everything from Ariana Grande tour shirts where she went to the Ariana Grande tour.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, she's got a fucking, a Prince shirt. You know what I mean? My kid has a Michael Jackson shirt. Right? Even with all the controversy. Wore it to school and argued with a little girl about it. You know? Not argue to defend Mike, just argue to say, hey, man, I don't get involved in that shit. I just like the music. You know?
And today, I feel like a lot of people have a hard time separating the artist from
the art.
Personal life. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. And it's like, and that's what Bailey said, but it's like, you know, but it just, to me, in my era, our era, it's not a chance in hell they'd let me wear a Prince shirt and wear a Crown Empire shirt the next day. You know, we would be looked at like we were confused.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like these kids have it made, dude. Playlisting changed everything. We're not listening to one radio station no more.
I mean, if you listen to radio at all, honestly.
Yeah. It's like we're all creating and curating our own playlists now, man. Music has changed, man. You know how at the end of the year when people send in their Spotify stuff to you that shows you, like if you're their favorite artist and it shows you spent 30 hours listening to Jelly Roll, 10 hours listening to this guy. Have you seen these things they do?
Yeah, I mean, they're never sending it because we're on the list. Well, I always see them.
Right. So it's like, I have a fans send them to me, like what their list of music is.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me that it'll be me, Luke Combs, Yellow Wolf, and fucking Sleeping with Sirens.
Okay.
And you just go, I get Yellow Wolf, maybe Luke Combs. That Sleeping with Sirens was a little left field. And then their fifth artist will be like Billie Eilish.
Definitely Billie Eilish and you is definitely a big gap. But for me, say like Yellow Wolf and like Luke Combs definitely is a bigger, I guess, stretch. But I could see overlapping fans.
Right.
Yeah.
But you couldn't have seen it back in, I tell you what you wouldn't have thought was back in our era that Nas fans would have listened to George Strait.
I mean, yeah.
So to sit here and think that, to feel it's not the Gap, and I'm happy about that. I think it's a beautiful thing. So sorry for the long-winded answer, but I just have the weirdest views about genres now. I think genres are what's fucking us, man. I feel like if we're so caught up on trying to be a genre, we're never going to get to the Grammys.
I mean, honestly, are you even concerned about Grammys at this point in time?
I'm concerned about our culture finally getting the recognition it deserves.
Yeah.
It's not about an award or a trophy, right? It's about who we speak for and who we represent. The kids in Dunlap, Tennessee, and Chattanooga, Tennessee, right? Ringo, Georgia, right? The kids all the way down through Knoxville and Knox County and up into the mountains. The people in Antioch, right? The group of people that we represent. I don't care if it's me that wins the Grammy, right? I don't care. I just want to see us, right? Y'all, Steve, you know what I'm saying? Little White, Jelly Roll, Yellow Wolf, Brian Upchurch, Jennings, Mercules, right? This group of people. Oh, please, thank you so much. Oh, I love you. Thank you, brother. So sorry, y'all. I'm not bullshitting. I love y'all. Dude, I've been up maybe like I just woke up.
Bro, you don't understand. Like, we just appreciate you coming on. Because honestly, this has been like a stretch all week. Like, when you reached out, I was actually out eating with him and my wife and his girlfriend, and I was blown away that I got the message from you saying that you actually watched the interview and you liked it. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going all in. I'm asking people to come on. And you were just like right instant with like, yeah, anytime. And I was like, damn, that's crazy.
No, and I'm here, and I'm a little late, but I'm sorry. It's fucking
I mean, technically you're on time because I didn't put time difference in, but
yeah, I was on my time, and I was still a few minutes late. And I wanted to make sure, for you, Gabby, when I first woke up, I'd have been here hungover, like, what's up?
When as soon as you sent him the message, we were eating at Champy's, and he popped his head up and was like, "Hey, Jelly Roll just messaged my Instagram," and I was like, the first thing I said was he wants to address what I said. That's the first thing I said.
No, it wasn't just that, man. It's like, I think it's also, I wanted to come and be able to talk about what happened 10 years ago. Yeah. I never want people to feel like they don't get the credit they feel they deserve in anything, right?
Yeah.
I also know that I'm the kind of dude that I just go out here and get it myself, so I don't never expect credit.
Yeah.
So expect it. I think that's a little lame and a little corny, but I feel like somebody once told me the only people that want credit don't have debit.
Okay.
But it's not a bad thing. But it's like I've checked what y'all were doing. I was like, and it goes back to culture. It goes back to the Grammy talk. Y'all represent a group of people that need to be represented, though. Like, people need to know about this show. People need to know about y'all's music. People need to know that the Instigator and the White are dropping an album. I believe this.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I believe this. Like, fuck the position I'm in. I feel like I'm still with y'all. You know what I mean? I feel like the only thing I did different than everybody we're talking about right now is I've put out 2 to 3 projects a year for the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only thing I did different. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not more talented. I don't have any more of a skill set. I'm not better spoken. I'm not funnier. I'm definitely not cuter. I'm fucking fat, right? But I did consistently work really, really, really hard. And it was easy because I don't consider it work. You know what I mean? So no, it wasn't even just about addressing. I thought it was cool. I loved your perspective. I just wanted to give you mine. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
I'm so invested into our area of the hip hop game, I guess you'd call it. From where we're from. Like, ever since the 3rd grade when I first heard the first ever rap song I ever heard, I've just been invested. When I found out that there were people from my hometown, like Muddy, Steve, Solo, making music, I couldn't believe it. And when I heard the music, it was such great quality that I was mind blown that people from where I was from was making that kind of music.
Honestly, yeah.
The Valley Boys would be one of the biggest groups in the world had they stayed together.
Yes. I'm so invested in that. I've spent so much time. Me and Steve were super close for a good 2 years. It was always me and Steve riding around We were supposed to do some things, some stuff fell through, whatever. We moved on from it. I'm glad you brought up earlier you had been to Dunlap before. How much, when did you start working with Steve and the Valley Boys and stuff? That's the stuff I want to know about personally for me.
This is why I'm here. So it's like, you know, here's the truth, man. Because of a lot of decisions that were made at different eras, I struggle a little bit to remember times, right? And that's just because of personal decisions. Like, you know, shit was just foggy at certain eras of my life. But I'm sure it was before the last time I went to jail. And that era, yeah, because the Black Fly era was before I went to jail, right? So, dude, I probably wouldn't be stretching to say 12 to 15 years ago.
Wow.
Right? I think. I wish we could chime Steve in. But
I mean, we could probably call him.
Yeah, but I mean, he's just got such probably a better grip of like the exact year, you know? But I do remember it being very, very, very early in my career, back when street flavor was booming. Yeah. So, you know, we're going to talk about the beginning of this thing. So there was a rapper named Haystack out of Nashville, Tennessee, that was huge 12, 15 years ago, 10 years ago. I mean, enormous, like larger than life, like sold out record shops across the Southeast, like 50, 60, 70, 80,000, 100, 150,000 independent records.
Yeah.
He was signed to a guy named Sonny Paradise, right? Sonny P is still a dear friend of mine to this day. Sonny P had a studio called Street Flavor Records. I think I met Steve during the Street Flavor days, right? And they would come down from Chattanooga for sure during the Black Fly days, I remember, because they were talking about pioneering the video shit up there. Very factual. Very
100% facts.
Very factual. Everything Steve said was pretty much spot on the truth about everything, you know? So, you know, we came up there and shot probably 20, 30 videos at a time, you know? He was ahead of everybody with that era and that shit. He was always ahead of everybody with everything, you know? But, especially with just grassroots marketing. And he was such a fucking hard worker. And I love the Valley Boys. I love their shit. I loved Muddy. I loved Solo. I don't want to say love. That's fucked up. I still love these guys. Like, I think the world of all of them. Buddy, Solo, Steve. I mean, they just had such a cool thing, man. They represented such a just great fucking thing, you know? Yeah, we would we would go to Chattanooga. They'd come to Nashville. I remember eras of my life where I was in trouble or, you know, having real serious issues. Steve would come down here and hang out. Like, I mean, that's been my dude from the very beginning. You know what I mean? We've always been super tight. We'd go down to Florida, pass out CDs. All that shit's real. All these stories are crazy true. You know what I mean?
No, man, I understand.
Yeah.
But like, one thing that we've done on this show for the past, I don't know, a few episodes, it's kind of been like a running joke. We always talk about Muddy and Steve and the Valley Boys, and it kind of seems like we kind of just overly, like, I don't want to say, was it fascinate? I guess, like, I don't know, we kind of just over talk on how good this music was back in the day. And, you know, maybe nostalgia has something to do with it.
I think it's a bias because we're from here.
Yeah, it could be biased, but
there's no taking away the fact that music was ahead of its time.
For sure. Sonically, mix-wise, engineered-wise, content-wise. Muddy Waters, I think, still, and Solo, and Steve. But Muddy particularly had one of the craziest voices.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, it could literally do any song and it would just sound amazing.
He could say anything. He could say the fucking alphabet. And if he did a Muddy Water voice, it was fucking awesome.
And then he'd go in there and he'd just do all types of crazy shit with his effects and
chop it up super crazy.
That shit was ahead of its time. Steve might have took it a little bit too far, saying the industry copied it, but that shit was definitely ahead of its time.
I thought it was great. I'm not. I mean, I'm overselling it with y'all, and I'm from 2.5 hours down the street. So
I mean, you're still kind of. I consider you one of us just because of how long I've known of the name Jelly Roll. It's kind of just like I kind of look at it like, oh, he's just some dude up the road. Now that I see you doing this crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying?
that's how. I mean, that's how I hope everybody looks at me.
That's what, and I brought that up to Steve, and I was like, how does it feel like you watched Jelly Roll come from literally nothing, and now you see him doing what he's doing? Like, it has to feel crazy. And you're Jelly Roll, like that happened to you. How did it feel knowing that the magic was working while it was actually happening?
It's just been a surreal ride, man. It's just like I think it goes back to this. All roads will always point back to a few things in this interview.
Yeah.
It goes back to watching our culture develop, watching the voiceless people finally find voices, through us and through our music. And I never say me, I'll always say our, because I believe there were so many people involved throughout the years and so many people that do what I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just a beautiful, and here's the crazy thing. I think that we haven't peeped our head through the clouds yet.
Okay.
I think this shit is still, everything that I see says that what we're all doing is dramatically trending this way.
Yeah.
That new people are catching on every day and relating. And there's so many, dude, I think there's maybe tens of millions of motherfuckers just like us three in the world. And we've touched a fraction of them. You know what I mean?
And you look at like, if you go on Spotify and you go like, let's say like Rihanna, Ariana Grande, and you see like what ranking they are in the world. I couldn't even imagine being somewhat that high and then having billions and billions of streams, or someone even like you who has millions, hundreds of thousands. That just seems unreal to me. And just saying the dramatic, like, I guess, gap, you could say. Yo, did you hear that?
I did not cut out that whole spiel, Bubba.
Well, anyway, I was basically saying like you're talking about seeing like the fraction of people.
And I was like, oh man, my daughter would love to hear whatever he's going to say, and then you broke up.
No, I was just saying basically like you can go on Spotify and you can see like these people are ranked something in the world, and they have billions of streams where you have millions or hundreds of thousands depending on what song it is, and that just seems unreal to me.
Right. Yeah, and it's like I just think we're just starting to scratch the surface, man. I'm blessed to feel like one of the guys on the forefront of scratching the surface for us and pushing through the door. But I think that's what's happening, man. I think we're just scratching the surface. So
yeah.
Other than the 10-minute freestyle, which was obviously the first viral moment you had, what was because I feel like now, like you said, I don't see you going down at all. I see you're going to keep climbing right now. Other than that 10-minute freestyle, what do you feel broke you past that barrier and pushed you out to people the most?
And I don't want to interrupt you. I would say maybe Pop a Pill, maybe.
Yeah, but not like Trap House and.
No, I'm talking about recently because I feel like you've grown. I feel like you've grown so much recently past Pop Another Pill and 10-minute freestyle.
Yeah.
What was the most recent thing that happened that pushed you to where you're at right now?
Well, I'll get to that because I think this gives us a chance to touch on something else. So every step was important, right? Every rung on the ladder was special. There was none that didn't mean something. Every single one of these was important to me, right? Connecting with White was the beginning. Connecting with Haystack technically was the beginning. Even though I wasn't on his albums, I was allowed to sit around and watch somebody do something and make incredible amounts of money with it and sign a deal with Def Jam. And I got to watch Sonny Paradise put out 10, 15 different artists and watched his approach to the game. I got to hang out with Jazz Howard and see the whole Crooner Warner brother thing firsthand, right? I got to watch Steve break Gucci Mane. I got to watch Steve break artists up in Chattanooga, like bring people from like not knowing anybody to being like, 3,000 people at their shows in Chattanooga alone. I got to watch all this stuff. So every rung was special, right? And then you go into like the Little White era. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking to Nash, because if Nash had anything he really wanted to say to me, he could, you know. But I will say that Nash said a lot of truth and Nash said a lot of lies. And when the truth is so good, I don't know why he would have lied, because his truth is so incredible. You know, that was Nash's condo. We shot Pop Another Pill at. That was Nash was working at a club down there that he had booked Little White for a show at that year. You feel me? I think Mike Busey was down there on his own accord, but I haven't talked to Mike. I talk to Mike all the time. We just hadn't talked about this. I think Mike was down there separate. You know, Mike was cool with White because DJ Paul and Juicy J had a show down there at La Villa the same year. Okay. So I got permission with an ankle bracelet on to have my ankle bracelet removed and go down there and do a show with quote unquote 3-6 Mafia La Villa. Okay. Whatever club Nash was at, he had gave White some bread to do the show, and they paid for the condos as part of, like, you know, anybody who would facilitate a show.
Yeah.
These are all true. The lie that was unnecessary was that he paid Little White for a feature for me. It was like, the truth is so good, why would you lie about that? You know what I mean? It's just a lie. I was already with Little White. We'd already signed a deal at this point. I was signed to White Music when we did Pop Another Pill.
Yep.
Why would I pay him for a feature? In fact, I had just got an advance from him, if we're going to call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? So it's like with Nash, it's like, I have nothing bad to say about Nash. I just feel like it was weird because the truth is so good. Why would you fuck it up with a little lie?
Yeah, I was kind of lost on it too, because I could have sworn that you were signed to White at that point. So I didn't understand where that came from, but I wasn't there. So I didn't want to be, you know, that guy.
It's like the truth is so good. Why would you tell a little lie? You know? Yeah. And it's also like, also tell the whole truth. It wasn't like you paid us to come down there and shoot a music video to help us out. Yeah, it all worked out and it did help us out. And I'm extremely grateful for that.
Yep.
You know, but it was a totally different business setting you had. But yeah, dude, I got arrested one time in Panama City at a club that Nash had brought me to. And Nash had a relationship with the police and got me out of the back of the cop car. I'm in handcuffs in the back of a cop car. Like, Nash has got really cool stories to tell that are all true and real. You know, respectfully, they're all stories from 10 to 12 years ago too.
Yeah.
You know, I just struggle with that. You know, I just struggle with that as a man, you know, because if I point out everybody who did something for me along the way, respectfully, it wouldn't start with Nash.
Yep.
You know, and like, that's why I tell you, I don't undermine any of the steps that helped get me to where I am. They were all important, equally important. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, Steve has way more time and money, energy invested in me than Nash. Sounds 20 times % more positive about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
You know, it's like, because at the end of the day, what got me where I am, though every step was important. I thank Haystack. I thank Sunny Paradise. I thank you, Nashville. I thank you, Steve Matherly. I thank you, Jazz from Cross Tracks. I could name 3 or 4 other people that put money into my career really early, right now. I thank them. I thank Selecto Hits. You know what I mean? Yeah. I thank White. I thank Partee. I thank Wes Phillips. I thank Jeff Phillips. I mean, dude, the list is endless, right? I thank Mike Busey for shooting that first video. I thank Chad Arms for shooting the freestyle. You know what I mean? I thank everybody for this, you know, but the only people that seem to want to talk about it in a negative, annotative way are the ones who don't currently have anything going on.
Yep.
Right. You know, it's like, this isn't about Nash. This is just a life lesson for everybody in general. You know, I couldn't imagine myself coming onto a podcast and wanting credit for something that happened 10 years ago. You know?
No, I understand completely.
I just couldn't imagine that. I just couldn't imagine me being the man I am. Like Max Holloway, I'm a huge fight fan, said retired fighters love talking about the past.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, I would work with Nash right now if he called me with a project, not needing to cut a project, Like when Steve sends me a group of emails the other day and goes, "Yo, man, pick a song. I really want to get you on this Instigator and White project."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Can I pick 2 songs?" You know what I'm saying? That was my response. Can I pick more than one? Ask him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's real.
It's like, you know, yes, Nash played a big part in this. So did everybody else I just named. Steve, dude, tons. I'm leaving people out. I do that. I'd have to write pages and pages. You know what I mean? So many. So it's like
a career like yours. It's been so long. Of course, there's so many people you're going to leave out of these.
So many people that really helped along the way, and I'm grateful for all of it.
Yeah.
But I think what really got me where I'm sitting at, Austin and Georgia, was the fact that I put out 36 different projects. 36 projects. 36 times I put Jelly Roll on a CD cover.
Yeah.
And took it to people. Do you know 32 of those 36 times not only did not make money, I ended up in the negative and owing people?
I mean, I understand completely. We know what it's like.
You get it, right? But there's somebody listening that doesn't know that part of the story. 36 times. I can name them all right now. I have them wrote down. Okay? And I look at this list once a week to humble myself and remind myself that the work has only started.
Yep.
It's literally the 32nd time that I put Jelly Roll on a project. The 30th time, technically, if you count the Waylon and Willies, right? Yeah. You don't count them. The 29th time you count them, sorry. That I can look and go, I made money there.
Yeah.
That was profitable for me, you know? For the record, I've never made $1 off Pop Another Pill. Neither is Little White, sadly. You know, White had a bad business partner in the early part of White music.
Yep.
You know, White's my buddy, man. He was just on A Beautiful Disaster. That's my dude. I'll always love White. You know what I'm saying? White came for me and put his money where his mouth was early and his brand against it. You know what I mean? I love White for that. But me and White, we never made money. Let's be very clear. That dude, that's on a channel that's had one successful video ever, and it's that video.
Yeah.
You know?
I was actually looking at it the other day, and it's actually, I think that's 6 million views, I'm pretty sure. It's something like that. Every other video on that channel is nowhere near.
Yeah, we never seen $1 from it and still don't.
We actually saw Little White about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago now, maybe, when he came to Chattanooga, and a conversation got brought up about you, and he had nothing but great things to say about you. And he just basically I don't want to shit you not, it was a good 30-minute conversation, just talking about you and saying like how much of your music has matured and grown over the years and how he wants to be like you. Because he said that, you know, most people when most of these, like, I guess, singers, when they get a little older and they kind of want to turn into a more, I guess, risque type of look. Well, you did the other way around.
Right.
And he just, that's just one thing I wanted to bring up to you, because he just talks so much praise about you.
Yeah, no, dude. And listen, I say the same thing about him, but, you know, I say this with respect, not to diss anybody else. You know why Little White feels that way? Because he's maintained his own career all these years. Yep. Right? Little White, there's 3 or 4 people I can name that really have the right to come on this show and go, I fucking really did it for Jelly Roll. Early. Nobody believed in him. I did. There's only a few people that, like, not for a little season of life. I mean, 5, 6, 7 years of just grinding it out with me. You feel me? And none of those people do, because every one of them still successfully is putting out music, still successfully doing shows, living a happy life. Lil White's got a big ass pool in his backyard. He lives with his woman of his dreams. He's married and happy. He's fat, smoking big joints every day. That dude he's great. You know what I mean? You'll never see him come on this podcast and talk about what he did for a motherfucker 12 years ago.
Oh, man, we're trying to get Lil White on, too. I actually messaged him the other day. Haven't heard nothing back.
But I'll hit him now and be like, yo, man, I have probably one of the best conversations I've had in a while on this CONVO-19 shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I want to throw a whole curveball at you right now. What was the resolution of the Waffle House lawsuit?
They took everything down, man. I lost. They cleaned my ass up, dude.
What was the big beef with? Why did they take it so personal? Did you ever get
I got a cease and desist letter and a lawsuit. So I put the Waffle House logo on the CE cover. Did you know Waffle House owns the words Waffle House?
Waffle and House or Waffle House?
The word Waffle House. Any way you put it, right? So it's like the word, the two words beside each other. Waffles here and house is here. They own it. So like if you were writing a fictitious book and you lived in Ireland and had never heard of a Waffle House, and you were like, and the couple stopped by this restaurant called Waffle House, they could sue you in that book. You're from Ireland. You've never seen a fucking Waffle House in your life.
That's
They
insane.
literally own these two words beside each other. They own them.
That's like Kim Kardashian when she came out and she like took that, what was it, jeggings?
Oh yeah.
Like any company that wants to make jeggings can't use that word now.
Bro, it's insane to me. Like, because I think about how, dude, there's still not a Waffle House past Arizona.
Yeah.
And they own, I mean, could you just imagine being like some British writer, you know, that's like not cultured in American history? So you're like, oh, we don't have a restaurant named this. This is safe to put in our book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, that's what some people do as a career. Like they'll find the craziest thing that nobody's taken the ownership of. They'll take it, and then if you use it, you have to pay them for it. And people really do that as a career.
I just bought jellyroll615.com back from somebody.
How much, if you don't mind me asking?
$2,500.
Jesus. Wow.
For a domain that I own
Domain.
and let slip for 6 months. And the 6 months that I let it slip because I started doing album domains per album because I wasn't selling merch.
Yeah.
Like crossesandcrossroads.com is a Jelly Roll thing, like a beautifuldisaster.com is a Jelly Roll thing, I think. But I know Crosses and Crossroads for sure, right?
I didn't know you did that. How much traffic does a site like that get if you're doing it for a specific album?
As much as we send to it.
Okay.
So we just do it so somebody has somewhere to go and see before they started making the smart links where all the music was on, like, you know, you hit the smart link now and it shows everywhere you can stream it.
Yeah.
When we were still figuring that shit out, we were like, okay, let's just, you know, and it's like crossesandcrossroad.com would have all our tour dates on it. So we tag it in all of our profiles and shit. So
I would imagine you have to be super satisfied with digital, like the digital music scene. But how does it feel coming from your era of the mixtape era where you're actually out there physically grinding, giving out hard copies and stuff, to now you can just upload to a distribution site and you're ready to go?
It's made it dramatically easier, smoother, and you get to touch a lot more people a lot faster. But the old school kid in me misses hopping out of the gas station and hustling mixtapes, right?
Yeah, because I feel like, and that's what we've talked about with Steve Nash and anybody we've had on the podcast. Like, I feel like it makes people lazy to a degree because you don't have to go out there and you don't have to actually interact with people and let them know you. Like, you're not actually, yeah, they're hearing your music and stuff, but they're not actually feeling you. Like,
but I feel like I got ahead of everybody with this, though, man. Everybody was holding against digital, and I just dove straight into it.
yeah.
Right? I quit printing hard copies up fucking 6-7 albums ago.
Yeah.
Like, just completely quit fucking printing them. Like, I literally called my distributor when we were still selling CDs at mom and pop stores and said, I don't want to do hard copies right now. They was like, that could cost you an extra, you know, X amount of dollars. I was like, I don't care, man. We can't stop digital from being digital. We have to embrace it. But let me tell you what else I did that was different than everybody else. And this isn't like, whoa, me. It's like, I'm hoping somebody hears this and goes, fuck, that's what I need to do. Right? I realized that the new passing out of CDs was touring. Right? So I think it was probably me and Lil White again. All roads will point back to that guy somehow too, man. That's my little bubble. But we went out on the Twisted Abominations tour like 8-9 years ago. Okay. Right? And it was my first nationwide tour. It was White's second because he went with 3-6 back in the day. But the first time, like, they, you know, ICP and Twisted tour totally different. They tour like rock and roll bands. Yeah. They're some of the first rap acts I ever seen that actually toured like a fucking rock band. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, so we went out with them and did like 47 shows in like 56 days. Grueling tour. You know what I mean? For no filter, popping, break the knob off and shit. Yeah. So when I came home, I had the bug. I'd never toured like that before. So I started reaching out to everybody like, hey man, I'll open up for anybody who sells more than 200 tickets, 300 tickets for $200. I just need gas and a hotel, and me and my crew are coming. And dog, I spent close to 7.5 years after that doing over 200 shows a year.
Oh my God.
That is insane.
I shit you not, Bubba. Like, it's a lot of, it goes back to the Jelly Roll story. I want to start talking about the shit I know people don't know.
Yeah.
I had a white fucking conversion Southern Comfort van, right? 7 years, Bubba. 7 calendar years, we beat that bitch in the ground. I mean, like, to the dirt. I put 4 transmissions in it in 6 years.
Jesus Christ.
Why you buy a new van?
Afford it. I was $200 a show, dude. I was barely surviving. You know what I mean? And I loved that van, dude. It was so comfortable. In it, Scary Larry, my merch dude. I love you, Scary. Scary Larry would help me build a TV. We like, because we wouldn't got like, you know, we're so white trash because it had an electrical socket. Like, instead of getting TV for a van, we like went and got us like a little 32-inch and just mounted it in that motherfucker. We had a video game system, dude. It was literally me, Scary Larry, Big Mike, DJ Highlight. You feel me? We'd have a driver. Some of the times it was our buddy Bob the Hippie. You know what I'm saying? And I'd take one of my guys with me, or we took Doobie later. You know what I'm saying? And we would, all 6 of us would squeeze in this van, dog, in this 6-passenger van, nuts to butt. We slept in that van. We'd share a hotel room every night for years, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shows. Like, I can't count. I can count how many projects I put out. I can't count how many times I did a fucking show for fucking $200.
That's insane. That's something I never knew.
Yeah, dude, north of 15 tours. I did 2 ICP tours, 2 Twisted tours. I did a Cypress Hill tour.
Yeah.
And then we started being able to do, I did a Moonshine Bandits tour. And then we started being able to do just Jelly Roll tours where we could sell 100 tickets, 150 tickets, like literally, that's it. And we, even then, you're like, that's when you start getting like, you know, $1,000 a night.
Yeah.
You know, but even then, think about it. You pay the DJ, pay the driver, pay the merch dude. I was like, I wasn't making no money. I was making just enough money to keep the van running. You know what I mean?
And buy transmissions, basically.
That's it. And buy transmissions, dude.
With the digital world, are you satisfied with what you're making as an artist off of music?
I am making more money than I was ever qualified to make doing anything else.
I see a lot of people debate that, like, they feel like they should be making more from streaming services and blah, blah, blah. But I feel like
maybe they grew up rich or something.
Yeah, if you're making a living off of, like, I would be so satisfied just making a living. If I made what I made from a paycheck, I'd be happy.
That's how I feel. I mean, I don't make a shit ton of money, to be honest, but I can tell you this. I'm happy. You know what my biggest symbol of success for was me? The first time I got to stop at a gas station a few years back and I got to put enough gas. I ran my credit card, my debit card, and I didn't look at how much gas was, and I let it click until it stops. And every time
that's that old rich white woman thing right there.
Hey, you know how it feels like, and people laugh and they're like, that was your symbol of success. I was like, dude, you know how many times I would go buy a pack of Newports with a fucking $10 bill when they were $3.50 and go put the change on pump 3.
Yep.
And you like, so
you walk outside and you see grandma fucking filling her up.
Yeah. And then that motherfucker click, and then you squeeze a little more into it.
You shake it to get the rest.
Yeah, and then you hang. Like, I can do that. So it's like, for me, fuck, I make way more money than I don't know about y'all. I have 0 qualifications. I have the riding all alone stands true to this day. I'm still not a barber. I still don't have no trade. I don't really hang drywall. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to put a floor in. This is it, dude. So the fact that I can fill my tank up, I'm a happy man.
Yeah. Do you, I like Bunny's podcast, right? I listen to her podcast more than I listen to your music right now. And I'm just going to be honest, because I feel like her podcast is super interesting. Do you think Bunny being in your life has given you any push to your fan base?
Much push. You know, like, here's the thing about Bunny. It was deeper than just the fan base. Like, Bunny gave me extreme confidence. You talking about finances? Bunny will probably always make more money than me. So it's like, you know, it enabled me to be able to be more creative and less stressed. It enabled me to not have to tour 220 days a year. You know what I mean? Like there was times I was touring because I just didn't have a house. And as long as I was getting a couple $100 a night, I'd get a hotel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like literally, like there was so many moments like that in my life. I know y'all probably want to get off here, but if you don't mind, I want to ramble on a few more seconds. So
I don't know, man. I got other questions I want to ask, but go ahead.
I was asking earlier about the turning point, and I went into that whole spiel about, just everything mattering. I think all those people. Turning point for me, 2016, we dropped a song called Smoking Section on Therapeutic Music 5.
Yep, I remember.
I felt like that song was going to be, I'll always look back. Okay, Demons on No Filter 2 was the beginning of that.
Mm-hmm.
But right after that, we dropped TM5 with the Smoking Section that year.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking it was like a small energy shift, right? And then early 2017, on April the 19th, 2017, I released an album called Addiction Kills.
Yep.
That was it. George, you asked, and that's the best way to say it, brother. Like, that's simple. There was every other step to that moment really mattered. And I can tell you how pivotal every single one of them was. How much No Filter helped. How much Pop Another Pill helped. How much Riding All Alone probably did the most of that whole era. How much the freestyle helped. How much all the groundwork we did in Chattanooga helped. But all of that led to what I called my kind of turning point. Going up a hill and then you just, go like that. It was that. That was Addiction Kills. And it was
Is right now your favorite era of making music?
Right now?
Yeah. Are you in your happiest place right now?
Dude, I'm playing with it, man. I found my voice. I'm singing. I love singing. I've been playing the guitar. I'm finna break that out on y'all here soon, man. I've been practicing for a few years. I'm getting good. I'm playing.
Play us a riff.
Dude, I love it, man. I'm having so fun. I'm helping so many people with music. It's just like, dude, it's like now I'm doing enough of it and we're getting far enough, and with Bunny's being able to help, it's like a fun factory for me now. I don't go to the studio to do a project no more. I go every fucking day. It's like I'm always in the studio. I got drunk last night to celebrate spending 5 days working on this girl named Viking Barbie's album. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm to the point now where I'm going to start with my downtime trying to produce and develop artists. Steve Matherly, as soon as he gets through Croptober, is getting a call from me. It's like, yo, I want to put out a record with y'all. Let me produce it down and spend a week in Nashville and let me fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting in that space now. It's like it's turning into my Rob Deere to I'm kicking it,
What's up with Bailey? Is she wanting to jump in the studio more and more?
Yeah, she's working. She's got her own single coming out soon.
Nice. What kind of direction are you trying to go for? Or is she still too young to really understand?
Young to understand direction, but I let her write about what she wants to write about.
Mm-hmm.
Her mother's situation really kind of affected her, and what got her in the music was, which her mother's sober now, and her mother is back in her life. Her biological mother, she calls Bunny mom, but so we started getting her into music because I was like, look, Bailey, you might be too young to understand this, but I was around your age when I started writing because I was a better writer than I was a speaker, which Bailey's really well spoken. Yeah. But when we talk about stuff that bothers her, she chokes up.
Yeah.
I was like, why don't you write about it? And she just, even then at 10 years old, when she wrote her first verse, she was like, smart enough to go, okay, well, I want to write like you write. Can I get a beat? And I was like, yeah. And she literally wrote her own rap and came downstairs with that Sunshine After the Rain verse.
Mm-hmm. Now, the real question is, when she's ready to put out her own album, how much is it going to cost her for a Jelly Roll feature?
Listen, man, she's got to pay more than anybody because she owes me.
No, man, that's respect. I actually fuck with that a lot.
Yeah, no, she's all right, man. Whatever she wants to do, I have no opinion as to what I want her to do.
Yeah.
I want her to do something. So right now it's music, and I'm cool with that. But if she quit doing music tomorrow and wanted to go play volleyball, I'm setting up a net in the backyard, and I'm buying a volleyball, and I'm going to listen to volleyball podcasts for the next 6 weeks until I know enough about volleyball to talk to her about it. You know what I mean? So whatever she wants to do. Right now it's music, so it's a little easier because I'm like, oh, I know this. This is awesome. I don't have to learn it. I was afraid you were going to pick soccer.
It's the first time I ever listened to the Bunny podcast was when I saw you post on Facebook the picture of her real mom, you, Bunny, and you gave the link to the podcast. That's the first time I listened to it. That shit really hit home with me because I'm a full custody dad too of 2 kids. And just listening to that podcast, I was like, damn, that shit really hits home with me. Like, I related to that completely.
Dude, it's awesome, man. You should come on the Dumb Blonde podcast and share your story.
Yeah, we definitely want to talk to her.
I'm not a dad, but I'll definitely come on anytime.
Yeah, come on. Y'all come together. You just have to come to Nashville and do it.
Yeah, I'm down to do it.
I'll set it up.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm down.
Yeah, we're easy to work with around here, man. It's not hard.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. Okay, so we've had you for over an hour now. We'll try to end it soon so you can go on with your day.
All right.
I know I have another question I want to ask. I don't know about Georgie, but I want to know, with everything going on in the world right now, and you probably get asked this all the time, with everything going on in the world right now, how does this affect touring for you?
We're not going to tour until fall of next year, it looks like.
Okay. I didn't know if you were going to try to do the smaller venue places around, like, I don't know, maybe in Tennessee. I know people in Columbus really love you. Try to find these smaller venues that will actually let you go in there and perform.
We thought about it, but, you know, some of it is too, man, just being honest. It's just, this whole thing has become very politically charged.
Yep.
And it's like, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. You know, you want to go do it because you want to connect with the people again. You know, I've been taking care of my band the best I can, but even then, you know, that's straining on me without being able to tour. You know, I'd like to tour to get them the extra money because what I'm giving them still can't compete with what it would be if we did the 120 shows we were booked to do this year.
Of course.
So it's like, you know, you want to help the band, you want to keep the economy flowing, you want to go see people, you want to be out, you want to help venues, you know, I want to help my family too. But equally, because this thing's so politically charged, that in the process of helping people, the scrutiny you'd have to deal with from the other side.
Yeah.
You know, people who are, you know, I'll give you an example. My father-in-law's here. I won't say his age because he don't like it being told, but he's old enough that my wife and I went and got a COVID test before he came.
Yeah.
You know, and it gave me the realization of, like, sometimes I start thinking, man, people are really taking this serious, too serious. Then, and the verge of having an elderly person come to my house, I was like, I found myself taking it real serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of a weird space where if something could possibly, I don't mind offending people about stuff that I'm passionate about. If I offend you, fuck you and your mama, if I'm passionate about it. But if I'm passionate about something and it's going to cause some sort of controversy, I'd rather just opt out. So with that being said, I'm not sure, man. As of right now, I just don't want to be in the middle of the political shit, man.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this shit changes, you know, soon. You know what I mean? But right now, it's like I just stay away from all politics. I just don't want anything. As soon as something becomes politically charged, I'm out of it.
Do you think that's a normal? Because I remember there was a big controversy with, I think it was Young Thug back in the day, because he came out and said, so he was like, as an artist, we shouldn't talk about politics and stuff like this, and people blasted him for it.
Yeah, it was Young Thug.
Is that just your mindset with any artist or anybody in the spotlight that just
no. To each their own, man. You know, it's different for me because I love America. I love Tennessee. I love everything about this great country. You know, I love our freedoms. I love the way that people like me and y'all can make a living talking on microphones and singing. I said that to say I hate our fucking government. And it's not because of any particular person in our government. It is the system
in general.
I'm not saying that I said this for the last 5 presidents we've had. I've been saying this since I was 15 years old. And I've always said I hated our government since I was 15 for one reason. They took my rights away from me for a childish decision I made. I was charged as an adult, And because Tennessee has no forgiveness on quote unquote violent offenses, I'll never have the right to vote. I'll never have the right to carry a firearm. I'll always have to fight to buy property. I'll always have to fight to own stuff. I'll always get pulled out of the car and searched. You know what I mean? This has been 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like, because of that, I'm just not a fan of our system.
Yeah.
So I don't get into politics because I have a different political view. I'm old school, man. You know, I think we should go back to community-based stuff. I think we should oust everybody in politics. We should get rid of career politicians. We need to start electing, I think we need to start electing fucking the people who actually make the economy flow. You know, fucking farmers, mechanics. You know what I mean? Fucking warehouse workers. You know what I mean? Those are people that I think need to start standing up for our community. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I don't have a political opinion because I just don't like anything about our government. It's a failed system. I don't care who's in office. You know what I mean? People can go in there and do the best they want to do. The system's failed. The structure's failed. It's failed me personally. I have a personal grudge against our government. So
understandable, man. You're not the only person who has these exact same stories. It's everywhere in America.
yeah, so it's like, you know, with that, it's like, respectfully, I don't give a fuck who our president is. You know what I mean? I don't care. You know,
Yeah.
to me, it's a fucking puppet.
The thing that I saw somebody post this the other day, and I was like, this makes so much sense. Like right now, we're literally deciding between the best of two evils as to who's going to run our country right now. Think about that.
Yeah, but you know what? If we're going to be honest, I feel like that's always been the case.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was like the last time too, to be honest.
I feel like we've never had a situation where that wasn't the case. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just always, I guess because there is no such thing as a middle.
Yeah.
And I would fall into that category. You know, some of my views, you would think I would lean this way, and then you hear other views and go, no, he would lean that way. But if you put both views together, you go, well, he's kind of right in the fucking middle, you know?
Yeah.
I believe in basic free, you know, how about, you know, more people, more community, less government, period.
Yeah. We live in a world today where everybody's right, nobody's wrong.
Nobody's wrong. There's no, you know, and it's just, I'm out of it. Now I got homeboys that make a living doing music and being political figures on the internet. You know what I mean? Like they're good friends of mine. Mm-hmm. So I don't judge nobody for doing it. It's just not my thing, man. I'm here to speak for a whole different group of people, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm here to help people, man. You know, I'm not here to divide anybody. So that's kind of what I say. It's not even like when Young Thug's like, fuck, you know, I don't have no rappers or artists shouldn't talk about politics. It's like, if that's what your shit is, that's what your shit is. It's just not my shit. You know what I mean? I don't judge you for it being your shit. So please don't judge me for it not being my shit.
Oh, that's fair. You got anything you want to say before we get out?
You know what's crazy? Before we came on the podcast, I was like, man, I've got so much stuff to ask. And when we get in here, I'm like, mind blank.
I think it's because really Jelly has kind of answered most of our questions.
Yeah,
I apologize. I came in here just ramble, but I definitely came in here with some shit to say.
No, it's fine, man. I mean, I got everything I knew that I really wanted to ask you.
Yeah, and I thought too, I've like festered in it a little bit. You know what I mean?
One thing I want to do, and I don't know if you're up for it, I think it would be great because we've already been at this for an hour and 14 minutes is what it says. I want to touch more on, I want to hit close to home with you on another one. I want to get you and Steve Matherly on here together.
Whenever you want to do it.
Is that something? Yeah, that's something you're up for?
Yeah, I'd love to talk. Listen, man, that's my guy. You know, listen, man, I don't have a problem with anybody, you know, and anybody who has a problem with me should probably go check the mirror.
Yep.
You know, that sounds like projecting. You know what I mean? That sounds like a false projection. Like, dude, and I, deeper than not having a problem, I fuck with Steve. You know, like I said, hit me and said, hey, man, I'm working on a project. He actually started the conversation with sending 5-6 songs. It was like, yo, man, anybody, my homeboy Bravo Gator, and I know y'all been on here a while, and but let me say this. Bravo, I'll show you how I am with people I came up with. Me and Bravo Gator rapped together in high school. it goes back to the Street Flavor days, right? He was signed to Street Flavor with Top Dollar.
Yeah.
Bravo Gator hit me January of this year, I think, and said, "Hey, man, I'm getting the bug, man. I done built a business down here, got married, bought a house, got my life together. You know, I'm in a space now where I kind of really want to fuck back with the music."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Bobby, send me something as soon as you're ready." He sent me something. I hopped on it. I talked to that dude 3 days a week ever since then. We didn't talk for years. He was down there doing him. I was up here doing me, you know. And but as soon as he was serious about doing music again, I'm like, hey, I don't mean to say this to sound rude, y'all, but I've been here, man. Nobody changed. If anybody changed as far as trajectory, it wasn't me.
Yep.
I've been doing this. So it's just like holler. When you want to do it again, let me know. Y'all know the whole time. I've been doing this. You know, now I respect it. All my partners have went out and built something different. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's cool. I respect it. A lot of people did what they felt like they had to do for their families. People went and built businesses. People fought addictions. People got caught in this, caught in that. I respect all that.
Yep.
But don't act like I switched up. I'm doing what I was doing when we all quit talking. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, I'm still here making music and putting it out, man. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck it, just holler, dude. I'm here, dog. I'm not going to not answer your call. Hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't, you know, as soon as Steve was like, that's how I looked at what brought me to the Steve shit was I seen Steve back being active with the music. He sent me the songs, and then I seen the interview.
Yep.
I was like, oh, shit, dope. Boop, 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 boop. You feel me? Like, let me check his shit out. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm so glad to see Steve back active. Fuck yeah. What's he talking about? You know? And then I looked and seen Nash and was excited at first. I was like, fuck, maybe Nash is making music. Fuck, maybe he hadn't put out music. And he hadn't put out music. Nash has maybe put out 2 mixtapes in 13 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck, maybe he's actually getting back on the saddle. Let's see what's up with Bubba. You know? I was like, nope, he's just here to talk about shit that happened 13 years ago. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You know, it's like, you just look at this shit and go, man, you know, that's where I'm at. It's like, I'm here, Bubba. Like, you know, we all got together because we all made music.
Yeah.
You know, and Steve said the realest thing, dog. He was like, maybe he was guilty of putting other people's careers in front of his.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's true. You know, I compare the music business to the fight. Y'all watch fights?
Yeah.
I'm a huge fight fan. If you ever want to text me about something other than music, let it be about a fight.
Gotcha.
So, you know, I compare it to this. It's a team-oriented sport, but you do it individually. So, like fight camp, we train together. We spar together. We work mitts together. We work out together. We get ready for the fight. One person gets in the motherfucking ring at a time.
Yeah.
Feel me? So it's like in this business, I look at all my homies as a training camp. I thank Steve for holding pads. You know what I mean? I thank Nash for running miles with me. I thank Lil White for getting on the bike with me. You know what I'm saying? I thank Haystack for sparring with me. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And I will do the same thing for you when it's your fight camp. Just
that's real.
Who's your favorite fighter right now?
Lil White's the only one that kept fighting. Every album Lil White does, Bubba calls me, whether I'm on the album or not. Hey, man, put your ears on this. Tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Every time something big happens for me, Lil White is the first person to text me and congratulate me.
What's up? That's real.
We're both actively fighting. So it's like watching your homie that you've been training with your whole life fighting for belts. You know what I'm saying? And I'm watching my homie that got me in the gym still fighting for belts. You know?
Yeah.
And if one of us want to quit, then we can just coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like when Steve called me with this album, to me, it was like it registered as a fight camp. Like, oh, shit, Steve's finna fight for a belt. I need to get in here with him. Shit, let me move around with you. You need a running mate? You need somebody to run with you? I'm in. You want somebody to give you constructive criticism? I'm down. You know what I'm saying? Like this anybody, any of my homies, anybody from my past that I ever did music with, holler. You want to start throwing punches again, holler. But my rule is this. Don't call me with an idea. Call me with something finished.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't call me with an idea. I don't got time to listen to ideas, man. Call me with some shit. You know what I mean? Like how Steve did it, how Bravo did it, how White does it, how I do people. I don't call a motherfucker and say, hey, man, will you fuck with me on this record? Yeah, what you got for me? Oh, I don't know. I'm just making sure you were going to do it. Man, I just sent something to Mercules yesterday.
Mhm.
I'll be on Mercules next record. That's my bubba. I love that dude. You know, I didn't hit Merc for the feature. Like
Who's somebody that Jelly Roll wants to work with right now?
Oh man, God, I love y'all for asking the good stuff. This is good stuff. I really want to work with some of the people kind of outside of what I do. You know, I've been talking to and working with a little bit on the side, Tommy Vex from the Bad Wolves. They did the zombie cover real big, you know. I'd like to work with like somebody different, like on some soulful shit, but like some soulful country sass shit, like Maren Morris. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jimmy Allen, the country dude that just did a song with Nelly. You know what I'm saying? I just love that dude a lot. You know, it's like it'd be people you probably wouldn't think. You know what I mean? Like inside of the genre, I'd love to work with Black Bear.
Oh, Black Bear, dope.
Yeah, I dig what he does. I'd love to work with NF. You know?
I feel like NF wouldn't be that hard to probably start though. I feel like you guys would have a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like what he does is just the more like underground, like the more not underground, the more like real hip hop side of what I do.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I could see it, so I feel like if the conversation was to get started, I feel like it would be no problem to get it, taken care of.
Yeah, for sure. And I talked to his director the other day, Patrick Tohill, who shoots video. Adam Calhoun hooked me up with him. So
okay.
Which I mean that's it. I could the list could go on and on, but that's what I'd like.
You brought up that you had you were finishing up some, was it a female rapper's album or something?
Viking Baby Barbie, is that her name?
Barbie, yep, Viking Barbie.
Who are some artists on the come up that you're listening to right now?
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of it is homies. Like, I'm so stretched for time that I don't really get to go find people. So it's like people that, I just know, you know what I'm saying, that I get to watch evolve. But there's a kid named Burden out of Florida that I think has something special, and his numbers just keep going up. He just got to swing the bat a little more. I've been listening to the new Instigator shit. White got some shit in the kettle pot that's really dope. So for me, it's like just more like Viking Barbie is a homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really look for talent, to be honest. I just kind of find it. I think his name's David. Oh, he's going to be so mad. I can't remember this hungover. But he's like a country rapper, David Morris or something like that. Does that ring a bell?
I don't think so. I can look it up. I haven't seen like anything pops up.
Yeah, would you? I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good.
Because he had like this like F-350 remix or some shit he did. It was like crazy. He had a small.
Yep, David Morris.
Yeah. I really kind of dig what he's doing. Leroy Biggs. Y'all heard that little kid?
Yeah, I think I have actually. I think I saw like a video of him floating around on Facebook.
Yeah, he's funny, man. He's one of Upchurch's homies from out there, and Deerdorf's homie. So Deerdorf is one of Church's like best friends, and Deerdorf is like my guy.
Mm.
So Deerdorf, I kind of followed Deerdorf, and I kept seeing Chucky Velvet fucks with him too. Chucky V's another one from Nashville. You know what I'm saying? 100K Tuck from Nashville on the gangster rap shit. I think 100K Tuck's like really got next. That girl was producing Savannah Dexter.
Yeah, now she's got it.
The best songs she has haven't been released yet.
Oh yeah,
they're sitting on a full clip over there, man. That girl's finna explode. I mean, like a full clip. But Bunny and Viking Barbie are friends, so Bunny tried to get me into it, and I wasn't sure at first. And then I sat down with Viking Barbie and had like a real like heart to heart with her, and I realized she's so much more than she is on the internet, because she's Instagram famous.
Yeah, I saw she was verified
yesterday. Yeah, she's like 7 or 8 million on Instagram and like mad impressions. Like she had a reel, this Instagram reel this week, do like 8 million views and like 600,000 likes or something. Like she's viral. So I just didn't know I wasn't truly into it. And then I sat down and started really, I liked the music. I was just like, I don't know. But I could tell that she was produced like somebody that was producing her was trying to make her pop.
Yeah.
Like a pop rapper girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then I talked to her and like painful, man. Like I'm sure she wouldn't mind me sharing, but like overcame like a serious addiction. Like serious addiction. Like, you know, mattress on the floor, fucking ODing addiction. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and father died when she was 12, was a straight gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just like she's got one of them real all-American stories. And it's like when I heard the story and then think about what she did with herself, it's amazing to me. So it's like, can my only deal was, can the music reflect the story you're telling me? You know, like I'll work with you, but I want the music to reflect the story. Now, I don't want the music to reflect the woman that's on Instagram, because I would have never believed that woman had this story.
Yeah.
Story I want to sell, and I think it'll make people resonate more with you musically. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that Barbie.
When you were coming up, like a young Jelly Roll, when you were first making music, were you inspired by Haystack?
Super, man.
You had mentioned you had the cassette tapes and stuff like that, but I didn't hear you say any local artist.
Oh no, stop it now. So you want to hear my influences then? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was talking about my intro to hip hop, right?
Yeah.
So my influences though, Rude Awakening was the first group I heard from Nashville that rapped, right? This is before Haystack was a rapper. It was a white boy rap group, right? My uncle T-Sean, Chris Taylor, was in the group. Their big song was, "If you can hear me, help me, I'm falling down. And will my feet ever touch the ground? Why do I keep on falling down? If you can hear me, help me, I'm falling down." Right? It was crazy, right? So, forgive my voice, man. I'm so hungover. And I haven't drank water and fucking this. But, crazy, right? So, then I grew up 3-6 Mafia. 8-Ball and MJG, UGK, the old Swisher House days. Nashville rap, oh man, I could bore you with my influences. Quanti Cash, Haystack, Pistol, Cool Daddy Fresh. I just went on this rant the other day on my Instagram story. Haystack, Pistol, Cool Daddy Fresh, Rude Awakening, The Blow Pop Crew, Serving the World Click, Gutter Boy Gotti, everything the Bottom Boy Records did, Crooner, everything the Cross Tracks Entertainment did. You know what I'm saying? Like I had more Nashville rap albums than anything. I bought Nashville rap albums like fucking nobody. Like, dude, I was Top Dollar, The Burners, The Crazy White Boy, CWB, the original Crazy White Boy, Stone, Stump, David Ray. Literally. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. I fucked with Alex, Lex, Stone, Stump, David Ray.
Yeah, I know.
Singer still buddies to this day. I'm working on his record. But so yeah, I grew up listening to nothing but Nashville rap. Up there with y'all.
Yeah.
Bad Valley Boys. Huge Vinny the Shark fan.
Oh, Vinny, man.
Yeah. Man, y'all remember
He's an upcoming guest.
Yeah. You remember the Duck Tracks that used to make the beats?
We literally just had him last
Duck.
week.
Okay, yeah, that's my dog. Like, man, I fuck with, man, dude, I love that dude's track so early.
Yeah, I'll have to send you the episode because we did it live on Facebook only, but I'll send you the video because we had Duck and we had Young Twist or T-Riser. I'm not sure which one you knew him as.
I remember Twist. That was my guy. I mean, Twist had a hell of a record together. I fucked with Twist a long way. You know, it was like somebody I get mad at every time I see him and he won't make music. Solo.
Bro, I do Heat and Air. I just saw Solo like a few weeks ago.
I like getting mad at him.
Oh yeah.
Like mad. Like he's so good, man.
I'm that way with Muddy. Like,
oh god, yeah.
I feel the same way with Muddy too, you know, but I don't see Muddy as much. I used to see Muddy early Yellow Wolf days.
Yeah.
Shows and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget, we was at one show one night out in the Yellow Wolf line and somebody said something crazy to Muddy and Muddy hit him so fast. And he had that real long arm and swung that motherfucker. He whipped his knuckle too. It was like a pow. But yeah, Buddies, yeah, I fuck, but I don't see Muddy as much. Like I see Solo, like he'll come out to the shows and shit. He came to see me when Cypress Hill did the Track 29 show in Chattanooga, and I hit him early. You know, I'm the one who hit Steve about the Signal show.
Yeah, I think I remember him talking about it.
Yeah. No, I hit Steve. Was like, yo, man, I'm coming up there. Like we hadn't even spoke in a while, and I was just like, yo, man, I'd feel weird doing such a big show in Chattanooga. You know, Steve's such a hustler. He's like, I got you. I'll sell tickets. I was like, Steve, man, we're good, bro. I don't need to sell no tickets. I just need you to sing, man.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're gonna sell that motherfucker out, Steve. Sure enough. You know what I'm saying? Great night, dude. Went to the bowling alley next door and got trashed. I went to the City Cafe. I'm signed to CAA now. It's my booking agency.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Chattanooga history? You ready for some?
Go ahead.
This is shit we'll talk about in 10 years. The night that my booking agent decided to sign me, him and his wife drove up to Chattanooga to see the show.
Really? Nice.
That night at the Signal. Yep. He came backstage and said, because I had an independent booking agent back then named Alex Gilbert, which is a great dude. Love Alex, and I'm sad I had to leave him. But I always told Alex that if one of the top dogs from one of the big three came, I'd have to go. And he said, I respect that. And sure enough, Hunter Williams is one of the biggest booking agents in the game. Google him. Huge.
Okay.
I couldn't believe he drove up to see the show.
Mm-hmm.
And he drove up to see the show, and he came backstage that night. We went next door and bowled, and we was at the City Cafe drunk at 5:30 in the morning eating them big-ass cakes.
Oh, yeah, man. You can't beat those.
It's the City Diner or Cafe?
City Cafe.
City Cafe.
What I thought. So it was a City Cafe, like 5 in the morning, we eating them big-ass cakes. And one of the cooks came out and took a picture with me.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at me and he said, you speak for the unspoken, man. He said, I'm going to sign you. I'm going to represent you from this day forward. And shit changed right then.
I do remember when you were doing the show at the Signal in Chattanooga, I was so mad because I talked to Steve beforehand. And I was like, look, I want you to get me in contact with Jelly because I wanted to do a song with you at the time. And he's like, oh, I'll set it up. Never heard a word from him.
Oh, dude, crazy week in his defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great show, man, because we left there and played somewhere in North Carolina the next day. But yeah, it was a great experience, man. But yeah, that's the night. You're talking about more Chattanooga history to the Jelly Roll story, baby. Is one day I'll be able to say, one day me and Hunter will be celebrating selling out an arena together, and we'll sit there and talk about the Signal show and how he came to sign me that night.
That's awesome.
He said what made him do it was 1,400 people was in there, and all 1,400 people sung every word of every song. And he's used to dealing with acts who have like everybody's waiting to hear 2 songs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was like for an hour straight, bro. Everybody knew every song.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You got anything you want to say real quick to head out?
What's one piece of advice you would give to up and coming artists?
Keep swinging the bat. You know, the problem is they don't see the results they want.
Yeah.
Everything else in life, we're trained to have to do it for a long time before you get what you want. It takes years to build credit. You got to go to school for 10 years to get a fucking doctorate degree, right? You go to school for fucking 13 years before you get a diploma.
Yeah.
Why in the fuck would an artist think that they would be on in 2 mixtapes?
You always hear the stories of these people that put out a song and blow up the next day.
Right.
Well, they don't talk about what actually really happens, but you just always hear about that one that just blew up. You know what I'm saying?
But, you know, I tell people, you know, the old-fashioned thing. There's the exceptions, there's the rule, and then the exception.
Yeah.
And people are obsessed with the exceptions.
Yeah.
Not the rule. You know, but it's like you wouldn't expect to go be a doctor in fucking 2 years. So, you know, why in the fuck would you expect to be a professional musician in 2? You know, that's
facts.
Nice, dog. It's like I told y'all early, man, I mean this, bro. I didn't do anything different, but just I kept swinging the bat. When everybody else was gone, upset with music and trying something else, I was swinging the bat. When everybody else was out hanging with their family, I was swinging the bat. When everybody else was fucking doing this, that, and the third, I was swinging the bat. When everybody was fucking, you know, figuring something else out or going to school or going back to school or owning a business or starting a business, I was doing 200 shows a year, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just kept swinging the bat. If you want to be a good dancer, dance a lot. You want to be a good rapper, rap a lot. You know what I mean? It's like, why am I singing now? Because I've been singing for so long. I'm finally getting decent at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a fucking muscle, dude. I finally have got to where, when I first, y'all heard it, I thought singing was riding all alone. I wake up every day, I hit my knees and pray. You know, that's a long way from somebody save me from myself, right? Like totally different world. You know what I mean? So, but that's where it started. Fucking 10 years ago, I'd wake up, I'd just be riding all alone. You know, to me, that was soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, man, I agree. And I think that what you said for advice is probably one of the best advice we've actually gotten so far, because everyone's kind of beat around the bush and saying, you know, keep going, keep going, keep going. And they don't really explain it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, dude, just if you want to start your own heating and air company, would you have a plan?
It depends on what exactly I'm trying to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It would depend, right? So with music, it's what you're trying to do. Are you trying to make it?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, then what I said Barbie yesterday. We just finished her first EP. But I told her I won't work with you if we're not going to put out 30 songs.
Yeah.
We're not going to put out 30 songs in 12 months. I don't want to do it. Yeah. You know, I don't want you coming in and expecting a big result on your first 4 songs. It's unrealistic. You know? And that's being liberal, because of the following she's got. It should connect relatively easier early. Mm-hmm. People that don't have a follow, okay, last thing I'll say about this. My little homie I had this talk with, I said, and I'm going to ask y'all the same question.
Okay.
I told you that you're going to dedicate 40 hours a week to making music for the next 9 years and never make $1 off of it. And it was going to cost you money at times. It was going to cost you time away from your family. It was going to make you upset. It was going to piss you off. You were going to run into snakes. You were going to get fucked. You were going to get told you owed people that you didn't owe. You were going to have fucking leeches. 9 years, didn't make $1. Would you do it?
Honestly, no, is the way you explained it.
What if I told you on the 10th year you were going to make $100,000?
Then yeah.
What if I told you on the 11th year you'd make 150?
Definitely.
All right. That's what I tell people, man. If you're not willing to just bare minimum go through, maybe it's 2 years, maybe it's 9. For me, it was 10 years.
Yeah.
It was 10 years of losing money, owing investors, not having a return on investment. It was 10 years of sleeping in vans. It was 10, and I just loved it so much I didn't care, bro. You know what I mean? Like Steve's telling the truth, dog. I would come up to Chattanooga and do features for pennies because I was just fucking poor, and I would sleep on a couch and do them.
Yeah.
And that wasn't because there was 100 other ways I could have made a few $1,000, but I just wanted to be a musician so bad. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's what you do, baby. You know,
as simple as what you just said was about the 9-year thing, it was still super eye-opening.
Yeah.
Like you always think about it, but you don't think about it like that.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm here to help, baby. Like what y'all are doing right now. I talked to Roast and Review a couple years ago, and I said, man, what y'all are doing can work, man. Just don't look at the scoreboard for 3 years. And they ended up not working together because they looked at the scoreboard.
Yeah.
It's like, how many times are you willing to put out interviews and only do 300 views? 200 views, 17 views. How many times before you say something and one clip goes viral?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden 10,000 people watch one clip and they tune in, and then they start getting 1,000 views and 2,000 views and 50. You know, it's like, you know, dude, I still to this day have songs that come out that don't do what I thought they were going to do or wish they would have done.
Yeah.
And I have songs like Save Me that I didn't think was going to do anything. That's fucking literally.
What's that sitting at right now?
Like 10 million views, 9.1 or 2.
Yeah, I thought it was close to 10.
Yeah, it's dancing, but it's only been out 2 months.
Congratulations on that too.
Thank you, Bubba.
Yep, you got that at the 9 million mark. You also have your Echo song that has recently got to 10. Is that right? Maybe I'm looking at the wrong video. It kind of just glitched out on me. 11. You got 11 for Creature and then 1.2 for Echoes.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, but my deal is the next video I drop, if it does great, like Save Me, fuck yeah. Thank y'all. I'm glad I could help. If it doesn't, cool, man. I tell you what I'm going to be doing again. How about this? I got 10 videos shot and in the can.
You just wait weekly, or you just when you feel ready?
I'm putting together the plan now. I'm going to tell y'all something I ain't told nobody on this show. You want to hear it?
Sure, let's get it.
It'll be October 2nd or October 9th or 16th, I believe. One of them Fridays, one of the first 3 Fridays in October.
Yeah.
Album will be called Self-Medicated.
Self-medicated. Hell yeah.
And it is done. I'm just finalizing I'm nervous. I don't know what song to put out first. And it scares me. I've never had this problem, but I'm scared because Save Me did so well, and Save Me was the last song we cut on the album.
Yeah.
And it don't sound like anything else on the album. So it's like, I'm in this like weird space of like, fuck. I wish I'd put out the shit that sounded like the album first and then hit them with Save Me. But I put Save Me out first because I'm not going to say I didn't think it was going to do good, but I was scared.
Well, I'll tell you now, I don't know how you feel about it, but if you need to send some records out for people to hear and then kind of get like more of an idea of what you want to put out, you could send to me, you could send to him, and we will not send them out to anybody else. And we'll kind of just give you our opinion on what I think you need to put out.
As soon
you don't gotta listen to it. You don't even got to listen to us, really.
as this thing isn't live, I'll give y'all.
Okay.
Just put me in a group text and I'll send y'all the album now.
All right, we'll do that. I guess we can go ahead and call it a day. Anything? I know I've already said this like 5 times already, but anything else you want to say to Joe?
Is there anything you want to get out there?
Yeah, you want to promote anything?
Thank you, man. I really appreciate y'all taking the time out of your morning to let me kind of spill my guts about my little story.
Oh no, man, I appreciate it way more than you can possibly imagine.
Thank y'all, man. I hope some people seeing this on. You said we was on Facebook too.
Facebook, YouTube, and and then this Wednesday I'll have it on Spotify.
Wow, but it's on all those. It's streaming on YouTube
We're
live.
streaming live right now.
Yes.
Wow, gangster! I hope somebody's watching it, and I hope y'all loved it. And cheers! And I hope somebody else is nursing a hangover, so I don't feel.
We have a whole row of comments right here we haven't even looked at yet. So when we end this, we'll look at the comments and see what people are thinking.
I hope it ain't nobody being like, "Fuck that fat ass."
I tell you this, I have not seen anything close to that, but I'll let you know if they do.
All right, no, don't.
Thank you, man. This actually helped us a shit ton.
Oh God, yeah.
So we ain't gonna let you pull a Nash on us. We're gonna go ahead and give you our thanks right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. God, he's probably gonna hate that.
Thank you again, Nash. No. No, seriously, man. Thank y'all for taking the time, brother. I'll do it anytime y'all want to chat, man. Tell Steve. I think Steve's dropping in October too. So
Yep.
Talk about both our albums together.
Yeah, we can do that. And don't think we're going to forget about the whole us coming on Bunny show. I'm definitely going to remember that.
Dog, listen, I never go to my wife and say, hey, get this person on. So I feel like the one time I'll do it, she'll do it. So
All right.
appreciate
Do that.
because she's, I love her podcast, man. It's doing really well. It's booming on Apple. She's figuring out the YouTube stuff now, but because she's new to it still, but that shit booms on Apple. So
Yeah, like I don't watch podcasts a lot, but I listen to them all the time at work. That's my favorite pastime.
Honestly, me too.
And Bunny, I don't know, like she just can talk about anything. There's nothing she can't talk about.
she's so fucking honest that it's scary but funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I did forget. We actually do have merch, and I wanted to give you a shirt. Now, what size shirt do you wear? And I'll send it to you. I'll send one to Bunny also.
Man, you try to get me to talk about how old I am, and you want me to say my weight on this show now too?
Nah, you ain't gotta tell me. You ain't gotta tell me. You can message me if you want.
Fucking, I hate you right now, Keith. No.
I'm trying to show love.
How about this? As far as being online, I'm a large. But
Okay.
get offline, I'll tell you what I really am.
That's fair. But I just wanted to let you know that I have some stuff I want to give you guys.
No, dude, I'll rock it, dog. I'm telling you, man. If it fits, I'll wear the fuck out of it. Listen, I'm still white trash as fuck. The only thing better than clothes are free clothes. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. This has been dope. Again, thank you, Jelly Roll, for coming on. Hope to do more work with you in the future. And it's Keith Austin, George 740. We out.
Love y'all both.
Radio check. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. You're now tuned in. Let's go to Convo-19. Turn it up with Keith Austin and Georgie 740.